What's up guys, this is Chris here, and today we have another controversial video. Today we're going to be trolling the Glock guys a little bit, and we're going to be talking about 7 pistols that are better than the new Glock Generation 6. Now I should preface, I've only seen photos of the new Glock. I haven't actually touched it, so for all of you that are going to give me criticism, it is valid. However, I have had the last 5.5 generations of Glock, and I very soon will have the new Generation 6, but I just figured at the very least we'd talk about its competitors. 7 guns that are out there on the market doing as much if not more than Glock. Now I do want to mention in this video that I am a Glock fan, or at least I was until earlier this year, and I've used Glocks for literally ever. 20 plus years now of shooting Glocks, from the 19 to the 17 to the 34 to the 26 to the 47, all the random numbers in between. I even had the new Glock V series, which you can see those videos. Now I will admit before we continue that the new Glock did give a lot more features than the previous versions, but I think the guns on this list are personally still better. Now, if you pick a Glock over all these pistols because you like it and that's what you've been shooting for years, by all means go ahead. I definitely don't care. I would still carry a Glock if none of these existed. They just do. So here we are. Now, before we get into the video, I do want to mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. You guys have supported us for the last 10 years, and we really appreciate you. You guys allow me to make videos like this, so thank you very much. If you want to support the channel, just go to the description of this video and sign up for Patreon. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter named Iowa. It's the YSS. Those kids could really use your help, especially during the holiday season. It's cold out here in Iowa, so please get down there and donate those kids.
Hey, Hottie, Lorraine here. Before we get into this list, we wanted to thank the sponsor of this video, G-Code. G-Code Holsters is an American-made, veteran-owned company. If you own or are planning to get any of the guns on this list, even if it is the Glock, you can get an amazing holster from G-Code. They definitely design these holsters with carry comfort in mind. They have a tactical fuzz coating so that it doesn't rub on your stomach if you carry inside the waistband, and they have this really cool wing that helps keep your firearm concealed. Make sure you use the code for 10% off at the link in the description below. Thank you so much for G-Code Holsters for helping us create free content.
That being said, let's get right into it with number 7, the Springfield Echelon. Now, if you'd have told me 10 years ago I would choose a Springfield over a Glock, I would have told you you were freaking crazy. That being said, a lot's changed since then. The Echelon Comp have both came out, and so have the Glock V, which was a huge disappointment to me personally. It is a striker-fired polymer frame pistol, the exact same as the Glock, and the weight and size is about the same as well. Now, one of the reasons why I think the Echelon is a better option, even though the new Glock does come out with a fancy flat-face trigger, it also comes out with texture on the grip, but so does the Echelon. It has a new optics mounting system, but so does the Echelon. It has a fire control. Oh wait, it doesn't have a fire control unit, but the Echelon does. It also comes in at $200 less than the Glock, has a single port comp on the barrel, comes with night sights out of the factory, which you will not get with the new Glock. We have a full Picatinny rail, which you will also not get with the Glock, and as I mentioned before, a fire control unit, so whatever grip you want to put on here, you can. You can turn this into a compact pistol, you can turn this into a subcompact, or you can leave it the way it is. Now, the grip is very comfortable, comes with removable back straps, has a very nice trigger, already flat face, so you don't have to worry about waiting for the new Glock. It has a bigger trigger guard and a better trigger undercut. This gun went through a 2,000 round review on our channel, was extremely reliable and durable. On top of that, the optics mounting system doesn't accept one optic, it accepts like 40. So you can do pretty much whatever optic combination you want, and it still fits really low to the slide because there's no plate interface to worry about. The Echelon is definitely one of the best pistols to hit the market in the last decade, and on top of that, since it's made by HS products in Croatia, it actually has seen law enforcement service to back up my review. Overall, I think the Echelon is one of the best guns for the money on the market today, and it's certainly a good starter to this list. Now at number 6, I want to mention the Archon Type B. Now the Archon Type B came out 3 or 4 years ago, and it again is a striker-fired polymer frame pistol with a similar size, weight, and even format to the Glock pistols. However, unlike the Glock, it comes with dope sights right out of the factory. You have a fiber optic front with a blacked out rear, and then we have a low pro Trijicon RMR optics mounting system, which I think is personally the best. If you have a direct mounting system, not only is it the lowest, but it's also the most durable, no plastic or new metal plates to break, bend, or fly off and hit you in the face, which has actually happened to me. On top of that, it looks meaner, it looks cooler, it has better slide serrations, and it has less recoil because it is in fact a variant of the Strike 1, so it does run the Bergman system, allowing it to have an extremely low bore axis, and that translates to very low recoil and very fast follow-up shots. It also has a flat face trigger, which is very nice, big trigger guard, undercut, and obviously it has texture on the grip, and this one has a full modular grip. Unlike just the back straps, which the Glock has, this one you can actually take pieces off the bottom, so you can make it a compact grip or a full-size grip, depending on what capacity and size you want to carry. Coming in at about $900, but you're going to get a faster shooting pistol that, in my opinion, looks better as well. In at number 5, we're going to have the TSAS PX9 Generation 3. Now, this gun has been on several of my top 5s over the last few months, and the reason for that is because of its performance. We're at almost about 1,000 rounds to it now with 0 malfunctions. The gun comes with a threaded barrel, again, better sights than the Glock, fiber optic front with a blacked out rear, optic system with a modular grip, so not just back straps again, but we have side panels this time, very similar to the VP9. We also have a flat face trigger, but in this one, unlike the striker fired almost double action only trigger of the Glock, we have a pre-cock striker trigger very similar to the PDP or the Canik, where you get a literal 3.5 to 4 pound trigger out of the factory. Very nice trigger, very nice sight setup, and very, very comfortable pistol, which is also reliable and accurate. Except unlike the Glock, this pistol is only $300. Now, it's not an American-made pistol, but $300 is $300. Extremely impressive for the money. You can actually get 2.5 of these for the same price as a new Glock Generation 6. I don't know what you want with half a pistol, but maybe you could hang it on your wall. In at number 4, we have the CZ-P10 Ported. Now, people have been comparing the CZ-P10 and the Glock 19 for the last decade, but I don't think there's really a comparison anymore with their final evolutions, at least their evolution up to this point. Now, the Glock has relatively stayed the same. Probably the biggest changes of the last 20 years in Glock have been the Gen 6, so again, I'll give it a little props for adding texture and a trigger. However, the P10 has been doing that for a very long time and still has features that supersede the Glock for, again, less money. This pistol right here comes ported out of the factory for only $500, $200 less than the Glock. It also has steel sights, which have tritium in them, which is incredible for the price. We have very deep serrations on the front and the rear, so you can run it any way you want. We have an accessory rail, a big trigger guard, and we have an incredible trigger. Very similar to the TSAS, this gun has about a 4.5 pound trigger, which has a, I guess, curved flat face. I don't know what you'd want to call that trigger, but it is very, very good. Good texture on the grip and a super ergonomic grip angle with a better grip angle than the traditional Glock. Well, every pistol on this list will have a better grip angle than the Glock, so take that for what it's worth. It also has ambi controls, and the magazine release is swappable along with 15-round magazines. Just as reliable, just as accurate, and a little bit faster, and half the money. That's why a lot of people go to the CZ-P10 series, because it is probably the best value for the money on the planet. Now, in at number 3, I do want to mention the Staccato HD series. Now, Staccato pistols are 2011 pistols, which is going to turn some people off and make some people very happy. Similar to big butts, I know it's people's preference. Personally, I like them large. Now, the Staccato HDs are a hybrid between a striker-fired gun and a 2011. They are more a 2011 than a striker-fired gun, but they have some features that I think will really appeal to Glock people. Number 1, they take Glock magazines, which is really cool. Number 2, they don't have a grip safety, just a manual safety to worry about. Number 3, they are drop safe, and most 2011s are not, which isn't really a big deal, but it is nice, especially if you're using it for home defense, concealed carry, stuff like that. Now, the HD45 is definitely more expensive than the Glock. They come in at around $2,500, and they're the most expensive gun on this list. That being said, they use the same magazines, and they shoot twice as good. That is my personal opinion, but I've never seen a person shoot a 2011 slower than a striker-fired pistol. I've seen people shoot striker-fired pistols extremely fast. It's not that you can't do that. If you look at Niles Johansson, if you look at Taron Butler, all those people can shoot striker-fired pistols faster than I can shoot 2011s. But they can shoot 2011s faster than they can shoot striker-fired pistols too. So there is that. And the reason for that is well, I'll show you my Staccato CS here. The reason for that is all 2011s have an incredibly short and incredibly light single action trigger. And that is going to beat any striker-fired gun in speed and performance. The lighter the trigger, the easier it is to get accurate shots. The faster the reset on the trigger, the easier it is to get follow-up shots quickly. Also, the Staccato pistols, in my opinion, are made to a much higher quality, and they look a lot nicer as well. Faster, more accurate, and in my opinion, more fun to shoot, however, much more expensive. So you gotta weigh that. In at number 2, we have the Canik MC9 Prime, my #1 gun of 2025. Now this gun is absolutely incredible and beats the Glock in almost every way. It's smaller than a Glock 19, it carries 17+1. It's a striker-fired polymer frame pistol with a pre-cocked striker trigger, probably one of the best triggers in a striker-fired gun that's ever been made. On top of that, it has a triple port comp out of the factory, which is probably not as good as the single port comp on the CZ, but it is nicer than not having any comp at all, which is what you'll get with the Glock. It has steel night sights, which is incredible, has a great optics mounting system that's reliable and durable. It also has phenomenal texture, a big trigger guard, and it comes in for the same price, if not a little bit less than the Glock, while having several more features, including that comp. It also comes with a holster, and it comes with a pretty cool kit. That's kind of nice. We have a full 1,000 round review of the Canik Prime if you are interested, and we have multiple videos on it besides that. Now, I wasn't going to do any honorable mentions, but I figured I'd do just 2, the Walther PDP and the HK VP9. Now, the VP9 I would consider probably on par with the Glock, and the PDP I would consider a little bit better. The PDP is a reliable pre-cocked striker trigger as well, and it would have been number 8 on this list, so I figured I'd give it a shout out. That being said, in at number 1, we have, you know what it is, the M&P 2.0. Now, the M&P 2.0 has a huge amount of pros over the Glock, in my personal opinion. Number 1, they are pretty close to the same handgun. They've been filling the same niche for a couple of decades now, and they have been the main competitors with each other. Where the M&P differs over the Glock is we have a more American 1911 style grip angle, which is my personal preference, maybe not for everybody, but my personal preference. The 2.0 trigger is significantly better than the Glock trigger while maintaining still being in drop safe, which is nice. Big trigger guard. We also have cool serrations. We have an optics mounting system. Most of the M&Ps come with night sights, and the base model of the M&P comes in $200 to $300 cheaper than the Glock. But if you don't want the base model like this M&P Compact here, for example, you can get a premium variant for $700 to $800, which is usually about $100 to $200 more than your standard Glock. You can get something like this metal frame carry comp. Instead of the polymer frame, we get an aluminum frame, which looks really nice and adds a lot of rigidity, and it feels really good. On top of that, it has a big palm swell on the grip, and the grip has tons of texture on the 2.0. It has a compensator right into the barrel, which is nice. We also have tons of cool milling on the slide as well. Again, steel sights and optics mounting system, so what's not to love with the M&P series? Now, what I like most about it over the Glock is gonna be the diversity in buying options. You can get a whole bunch of different options, from aluminum frames to steel frames to long slides to short slides. Smith & Wesson has like 300 variants of the M&P, from the shield all the way up to the steel frame variant. On top of that, the reliability is also better, at least post 2020. Now, I would have gave it to the Glock a little bit for the last few decades, but the last 5 years or so, we've shot so many M&Ps and had so few failures that I could count them on one hand. Whereas all of the new Glock models have had one issue or another over the past, 2 or 3 years or so. I bought a Glock 19 Generation 5, which had some issues. Oh, we had a Glock failure. And both of my Glock Generation Vs also had some issues. So with the lack of features, the higher cost, and the grip angle and trigger that I don't particularly like, along with having the shittier night sights, I do feel like the M&P has been the better product for at least the last 5 to 7 years or so. And with the new Glock Gen 6, I don't think that's really going to change much, at least from what I've seen. Now, in all fairness, I could be completely wrong, but I don't think I am. The Glock Generation 6 for me personally isn't something unique. They didn't change any of the operating system. All they did was add texture and a new trigger, which I've personally added to every Glock I've ever bought already, so it doesn't feel like it's really anything new or revolutionary to me. And I'm sure a lot of the people that have done reviews on the Glock already like them to begin with, and they are an incredible pistol in their own right, and they are an iconic pistol as well. They definitely started an industry, and they definitely deserve respect for that. That being said, it would be foolish to say there aren't better options on the market today, so that's why we made this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.